Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Paul Walsh Field in New Bedford, where tonight the New Bedford Cable Network is proud to present boys high school baseball action. The homestanding New Bedford High Whalers taking on their arch rival, the Durfee Hilltoppers. Joe Cabral and Pete Braley with you tonight from Paul Walsh Field in New Bedford, the classic matchup, New Bedford and Fall River. The Whalers against the Hilltoppers, and it's a cool night. Pete, temperatures now dropping into the 50s with a light breeze blowing in from center field, but we should have a good one here tonight. It's always exciting when New Bedford takes on Durfee.
I know, Joe. You always look at the records, and New Bedford is 1-5 right now, facing the 4-2 Durfee Hilltoppers. But you really put the numbers away when you get the rivalries going. So yeah, we've got the two cities represented here today, and we should have a very good match with Ben Cortez being on the mound for New Bedford. He'll be opposed by he'll be delivering to his battery mate C.J. Dunston, and for the Hilltoppers, we'll see Joshua Martell on the mound, throwing to Deacon Mello.
Let's take a look at the Whalers defensively and set their defense here tonight. For New Bedford at first base, it'll be Kyle Pease. The second baseman is Ben Frenette. The shortstop is Elijah Carpenter, and at third base it's Matt DeRosa. The left fielder is Jordan Graham. In center field, it'll be Raynon Goodine. The right fielder is Anthony Diakite. Behind the plate, as Pete mentioned, C.J. Dunston. And on the mound, Ben Cortez. Stepping in for the Hilltoppers, it's their leadoff man, Deacon Mello. And here with the first three innings of play-by-play, it's Pete Braley.
Thank you very much, Joe, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Paul Walsh Field, where today, hopefully, the Whalers hope that maybe a game under the lights will shake things up as they are trying to break a 5-game losing streak coming into tonight's game.
Number 5, the catcher.
The catcher, Deacon Mello, will lead off, and the first pitch from Ben Cortez is in there for a strike.
We saw Cortez, Pete, last time we were here playing first base on the mound here tonight.
Whalers pretty much playing straight away. Second pitch is driven to center field. Goodine is back a step or two, and he looks up and makes the catch for out number 1.
Always deceptive, Pete. The ball off the bat when it's the metal sound.
Right.
Very hard to tell how solidly the ball was hit. There you saw Goodine in center field really not have to move at all. Ball was not even medium depth center field, shallow center field, an easy put away for Goodine, and the Whalers one away.
Brings up shortstop Jaden Espinal, and he takes ball 1 high. Behind the plate, we have umpire Jeff Underhill tonight. Chris Roberts is down the first base line as our field umpire. Is the 1-0, and that's driven to shortstop. Carpenter is up with it, over to first, and the play's made to Kyle Pease. Came off the base a little early there. Yes,
solid shortstop for New Bedford, Elijah Carpenter, and he handled that one smoothly and got it over to Pease in time for out number 2.
I had a chance to talk to New Bedford coach John Seed before the game about what's been going on this season. We'll share that with you in between innings. This is Joshua Martell, who's the pitcher tonight. He lays off that one for ball 1. Martell pitching for the Hilltoppers, who come into today's game, as we said, 4-2 on the season. Their head coach, Mike Martin, is down at third base. Cortez with the pitch to Martell, and that's high for ball 2. As Joe said, nice night here today. Is 53 degrees at game time with a slight breeze blowing out to center. That's high and tight for ball 3.
Light's not on yet, Pete, as we only see shadows right near the third base dugout of the Whalers. But other than that, still bright sunshine out on the field.
Here's the 3-0, and he misses high for that. So on 4 pitches, he walks Martell.
Now batting for the Hilltoppers, number 8, the left fielder.
And that'll bring up the left fielder, Josh Boria. Coach Seed telling me before the game he does have 3 or 4 hitters that are hitting above 300, even a couple near 400. But as we'll tell you, just can't seem to put it all together. Martell away from first. The pitch to Boria is in there for a strike. If Boria gets on, we'll see Sebastian Reese, the third baseman. Right-hand pitcher to the left-handed batter. Oh, runner goes. They got him. Going down to first. Now they have him in a pickle. Working back towards first base. Chase him down to second. Do we throw? Do we tag? We're going to throw. That's it. Just keep yourself alive. And he got under the tag.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
It's a game that we used to play as kids, Pete, all the time, right?
We did.
We called it different things.
Hot box.
Hot box,
Pickle.
Yeah, we called it, a variety of things, and you rarely see anyone get away from the rundown, the official term, but in this case, Joshua Martell was able to do so.
Martell going back and forth and then able to get under the tag. That's about the only chance I guess you have in a play like that.
Yeah,
right?
unless the ball hits you or gets thrown away.
Right.
And Whalers didn't do that. That's why you want to limit the number of throws. New Bedford had too many throws on that rundown.
Yes. Yep.
The usual rule of thumb is no more than 3. So,
chase them down.
You chase them down.
Yeah.
You get them to go back in one direction until they're going full speed, and then when they're a certain distance away, you deliver the baseball. So a few rules were broken there. Whalers just kept on throwing the ball, waiting for the runner to just kind of run out of gas. And the more throws you make, the more likely it is that they're safe. And it'll cost the Whalers a base runner.
Stolen base for Martell as the throw went to the shortstop side.
He had a big jump, Pete, so he just guessed there, and he was no chance really for C.J. Dunston to throw out Martell, who's now in scoring position.
So it's 2-1. There are 2 outs. First 2 batters went down easily. But having that Martell's kind of gotten in Cortez's head here.
Yeah, he's taking his time there, just staring down Martell at second base.
He looks in for the sign. And, almost the ball meeting the runner there.
Martell back safely without a slide, and it nearly cost him.
So it's 2-1. Martell on second. Here's the pitch. There's a pop-up left side. It is foul, but can they get to it? No. Long run. Too much of a run there for Graham in left field.
Yeah, ball was in play near the New Bedford bullpen, but Graham could not get there. So count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away here for the Hilltoppers. A runner on second. Top of the first.
If you're John Seed, are you telling Cortez just get him out of your head? Go to the bat. Deal with the batter.
Yeah, at this point,
2 strikes on the batter, 2 outs.
And the pace of play is really slowed up here.
Carpenter shadowing Martell. And the pitch is in the dirt for ball 3, no advance. So a full count. With 2 outs and a runner on second here, we're in the bottom of the first. Just getting underway at Paul Walsh Field. Pete Braley along with Joe Cabral. 3-2 pitch grounded to first. Up with it and over to make the play is Kyle Pease, and the Whalers get out of it with no damage. So no runs, no hits, and 1 runner left on base. And the Whalers are coming up next. So I talked to John Seed before the game when I went down to check the lineups with him. And I asked him what was going on. You know, it's 1-5 this season so far. They won their first game, and then they've lost 5 in a row. And I said, is it pitching? Is it timely hitting? And he said, we just can't seem to put it all together. You know, they get a good pitching performance, and the bats are quiet. Or they got the hitting, they got no pitching. So it's just been one of those frustrating years. He's hoping that they right this. There's still plenty of time. He's hoping they right the ship and put things back together.
Yeah, so you're seeing a New Bedford team here tonight that has some promise. We saw them when they were 1-0 on the season, and obviously they lost that one to start the 5-game losing streak. But fairly talented squad, or at least it appeared so there. So you
Right.
can understand when John is saying just not putting it together at the same time. So when your bats are alive, your pitching is off, and then vice versa. We'll see here tonight for the Whalers if they can sync up their pitching and have some lively bats here tonight. For New Bedford, the batting order will look like this. Leading it off in center field, it'll be number 8, Raynon Goodine. Batting number 2 will be the second baseman, Ben Fredette. Batting 3, the catcher, C.J. Dunston. Batting 4, the third baseman, number 15, Matt DeRosa. Batting 5th, it'll be the left fielder, Jordan Graham. Batting 6th, wearing number 4, is the shortstop, Elijah Carpenter. Batting 7th, it's the pitcher, Ben Cortez. Batting 8th, the right fielder, Anthony Diakite. And batting 9th, the first baseman, wearing number 16, Kyle Pease. Checking Durfee here defensively. At first base, it'll be Ryan Lopes. The second baseman is Jacob Cavasso. The shortstop is Jaden Espinal. The third baseman, Sebastian Reese. In left field, it's Joshua Boria. The center fielder is Ben Sherry. In right field, it's Alex Montilla. Behind the plate, Deacon Mello. And on the mound, as Pete said, it's Joshua Martell.
So Josh Martell, the right-hander.
Leading off, the ball
Healthy
first
head of
inning,
hair
for the
there,
Bedford
as Eck would
Whalers.
say. Got
Number
some
8,
moss
the center
going.
fielder, Raynon Goodine.
And he will face Raynon Goodine, the left-hander, leading off for the Whalers. We've mentioned before that as the sun goes down, shortstop and left field can be an issue here. It's in tight and all the way back to the fence for ball 1 on Goodine.
Yeah, the shadows start here along the third base line. So right now, shadow behind home plate, again, third base side. And it's creeping down to the third base bag eventually.
There's a shot to left field, chasing it, going into foul territory, but not able to get it. Joshua Boria over near the Whalers bullpen.
Yeah, ball slicing off the bat of Goodine immediately and clanging up against the fence, protecting the New Bedford bullpen.
There's quite a bit of foul territory here at Walsh Field. Long run for Boria. Here's the 1-1. Martell throws, and that's a called strike 2. Inside corner on Goodine, something he decided to hold off on.
Had temperatures here in the 70s earlier today, or close to 70 at the very least in most areas along the south coast. But tonight dropping into the 50s and maybe even in the high 40s by the end of this one.
Here's the 1-2, up through the middle for a base hit. And Goodine gets the first hit of the evening, actually. First one for the
Number 9
Whalers.
for the Whalers. Number 9, the second
Picks up the
baseman,
second baseman, Ben Fredette.
Goodine going with the old rule of thumb, Pete, right back through the box. Stay through the middle. He did so there with 2 strikes and has a base hit.
Something that's hard to do, huh? To put it right back through the middle.
Many times.
Here's Ben Fredette with Goodine on first. That's outside for ball 1. C.J. Dunston will be on deck for New Bedford. Martell does slow down a bit with runners on. And the pitch, ground ball first base side, gets by the first baseman Lopes. Going all the way to third will be Goodine, as Alex Montilla also bobbled it out in right field. So a good first inning for the
Number 3, the
Whalers.
catcher, C.J.
And that's old school
Dunston.
baseball, hitting to the right side of the infield. Got it past the first baseman Lopes. That should be an error, but regardless, New Bedford now with runners at the corner, first and third with no one out.
As Goodine leading away from third. Fredette is on first. The pitch to C.J. Dunston. It's a ball. I didn't see any official ruling, but I would agree with you.
No.
It's a play that should have been made.
Yeah, especially when you're just standing there and it wasn't hit that hard. So we would
E3.
say that's an E3. Nothing on the scoreboard, so we'll have to be the official scorers here.
Way outside to Dunston, and it's 2-0. The Whalers trying to get something started early in the game today, after running into just a bit of trouble in the top half of the first, with Martell getting on first and then surviving a pickle. That's outside, ball 3. Martell was able to survive that pickle and then stole second base, but he was stranded there. The Whalers now, runners on first and third with nobody out. We'll see Matt DeRosa hitting cleanup on deck. See if he has a green light here. Think he wanted it, but he took ball 4. Martell's kind of wondering where that one missed.
Now batting for the Whalers, number 15, the third baseman, Matt.
So that loads up
DeRosa.
the bases for Matt DeRosa, the third baseman for New Bedford. And that'll bring an early conference out at the mound. I believe that's the pitching coach. It's not the head coach that I met before the game.
That's a rough start here for Durfee. Single up the middle by Goodine, then in E3, followed with the base on balls to load him up with no one out, and New Bedford's cleanup hitter, Matt DeRosa, stepping to the plate. And it's been a bit of a challenge here early on for Josh Martell to throw strikes.
And you see umpire Jeff Underhill starts the slow walk out to the mound. He must know that they're going to stay there until he breaks them up.
Well, again, the pitching coach really staying out there a long time. Not sure how much of that was necessary.
That poor umpire has to walk all the way out there, and the minute he gets near, the coach says, okay, I'm done. But then again, I can't say I haven't done it myself. The bases are loaded. There is nobody out. We're in the bottom of the first inning. And Matt DeRosa comes to the plate for the Whalers. First pitch. He's swinging. Ground ball to second base. The run will score. They get an out at second, and they throw over to first, and they got him at first base.
So exactly what Durfee wanted, Pete. They played at double play depth, are able to turn the twin killing. No RBI for those of you who are not used to scoring. You do not grant an RBI on a double play. On a fielder's choice, an RBI would have been granted to DeRosa, but no RBI since he grounded into a double play. And if you're scoring it, again, it's 4-6-3.
First pitch to Jordan Graham misses for a ball. So the Whalers lead 1-0. They do have a runner on third. Ben Fredette made it to third. So we'll see if Graham can pick him up. There's a shot down the right field line, foul. So 1-1.
Some of the fans covered up here with blankets and such. As I mentioned, it's starting to get chilly.
I guess the whole week is going to be chilly.
Kind of the way it's been so far.
There's another foul, right side. So it's 1-2 on Jordan Graham.
We're only a few days away from the start of May, yet the temperatures have still stayed kind of as if it's the beginning of March.
Here's the 1-2, and that's outside, ball 2. Yeah, I think it's Sunday is the first day of May.
Yes, it is.
I think it's a nice warmer weather. I know certainly things are blooming as the pollen's been incredible this year. I know a lot of people, including me, suffering from that.
Hay fever.
All right, there's ball 3. I don't know if Martell is more upset with himself or with the calls he's getting.
Yeah, that wasn't even close, so
yeah,
he couldn't be upset with the home plate umpire.
3-2, 2 outs, runner on third, and the pitch. He swings and misses for strike 3, so what could have been a disastrous inning, they only give up 1. And after 1 inning, we have New Bedford leading Durfee by a score of 1-0.
The double play in baseball, one of the great killers of a big inning in baseball. You have the bases loaded. You're allowed to dream big, but you ground into a double play. You get 1 run, and that's it for the Whalers.
And again, I guess talking to John Seed, it's been that kind of year, just not able to put it together to make some big damage with the bases loaded.
You have your cleanup hitter at the plate, and you're hoping not to hit a ground ball. So really, consciously, you're there. You're really trying to get the ball up in the air. The very least you're saying, let me hit a sac fly.
Right.
And only have one out here and have a run across. You don't want to hit the ball on the ground. And you hit it right at the second baseman, so it's an easier double play with a 4-6-3, easy toss over to the shortstop covering and then to first. And with that, New Bedford is held to just a single run in the first inning.
And something else to consider is that Matt DeRosa, who hit into that double play, he tried to slide into first base. So there's always that debate, is it better to slide or just run full speed through it?
Never better to slide. The only time it's better to slide is if someone's up the line and they're trying to make a tag and you think you're going to slide under that tag. But other than that, it's been proven that you don't get there faster. It actually takes you longer to get there. So the only time you would really slide is if it's somehow to avoid a tag up the line.
Ben Cortez, who gave up 1 walk, no hits in the first inning, will face batters 5, 6, and 7. This is the third baseman for Durfee, Sebastian Reese. High kick, and the throw is first pitch swing, foul to the dugout. No balls and 1 strike on Reese. I'll have to look and see what time sunset is when we might see the lights go. Breaking ball misses for ball 1.
Said it was high. A ball on the strike to Sebastian Reese, their third baseman.
Cortez with that high kick, and he's high again for ball 2. Ben Sherry, the center fielder, then Ryan Lopes, the first baseman, will be on deck. There's a pop-up over near the dugout, trying to find room for it, and making the catch was Matt DeRosa. He just got out of my view there, going behind the dugout.
Now batting for the Hilltop is number
Nice
12,
catch.
the center
Yeah, made the
fielder,
grab.
Benjamin
You obviously
Sherry.
saw it. And again, out of our sight line, behind the dugout, but nice play by DeRosa for the first out of the second.
One good thing about playing at home is hopefully you know where the fences are. This is Sherry, who hits a rocket down the left field line, foul. Just out in front of it.
Center fielder Ben Sherry stroked that one, Pete, but just foul.
He looks down to his coach, who would be surprised if he's really giving any signal with nobody on here. But did not see anything from Coach Mike Martin. And the 0-1. Takes that one, but it's a strike. No balls and 2 strikes for Cortez.
That was the breaking ball that time that went 12-6 for a strike.
Dunston almost sitting on the ground. That misses for a ball.
Tried it again, tried to repeat it. And the right way to throw a curveball is the ball's breaking basically down 12-6
Right.
on the clock.
Here's the 1-2. There's a ground ball shortstop. Carpenter boots it.
After we lauded the play of Elijah Carpenter, that was as routine as it gets. That's the old two-hopper. And it was a high hop, and he just must have taken his eye off the baseball because it went under his glove, and again it was a high hop.
John C. did tell me that when they had one game in Plymouth, that was back at the beginning of the school vacation. He said he didn't know if the defense fell asleep or what. Runner goes, throw down to second, is not in time, actually hits the runner in the back. And Ben Sherry still second.
Second stolen base of the night already for Durfee here in the second, so they think they can take advantage of the Whalers. Again, not really close.
Maybe they see something with Cortez. Maybe it's not as fast a delivery as they'd like. There's a shot to left field. Graham is back, looking up into the sun. He catches that one nicely. And he'll get that ball back in for no advance, and that's 2 outs.
And again, a good example of the sound off the bat and the trajectory off the bat. It looked like that was going to be much deeper than it actually was. So not on the sweet spot.
Brings out the number 8 hitter, Alex Montilla. Ben Sherry's on second. And once again, the Hilltoppers in a situation. Runner on second, 2 outs. Can they bring him in? First pitch is high for a ball.
Cortez has used the curveball a lot here in this second inning.
He gets right back into it, looks for the sign, checks the runner, throws. And there's a pop-up right side of the infield. This is Fredette, who pulls it in, and once again, the Whalers get out of it with no damage done. We'll go to the bottom of the second. New Bedford leading by a score of 1-0. So again, the Hilltoppers leave a runner on base. Again, no hits given up. We've seen a walk in the first inning and an E6 in the second inning.
Well, Pete, speaking of no hits,
Yes.
that happened yesterday to the Boston Red Sox into the 10th inning when they finally had their first hit of the ball game.
Actually, it was Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
Yep,
I apologize.
Saturday night,
Yeah, not Sunday's game.
Yep.
Saturday's game. And again,
But
no
it wa-
hits. A combination of
Combination of
pitchers, which
pitchers.
to me just absolutely destroys the whole concept of being no hit.
I've read so many articles, it seems, over the past 2 weeks about how analytics is killing baseball.
Oh, there's no question. There is absolutely no question about it.
This is when the number guys, they crunch all these numbers and find out there's a 37% possibility that this will happen.
And so 37% is higher than 32%. So
Right.
we go with the 37%.
And they don't leave the guy in who's pitching a perfect game
yeah, like Clayton Kershaw.
because the numbers say we shouldn't do it.
Third time through, pitches, after pitches, 85, this happens. And then the managers just fall into it, and the fans it's really only going to change when the fans start really showing
Leading off,
displeasure.
The bottom of the second inning for the New Bedford Whalers.
Bottom of the second, we'll see Elijah
Number 4, the
Carpenter,
shortstop, Elijah
The-
Carpenter.
shortstop, who has a chance to make up for that error that he had in the last inning. We'll see Carpenter, Cortez, and Diacate in this inning. And if we get there, the number 9 hitter, Kyle Pease. Carpenter steps in, wearing number 4 for the Whalers. By the way, I saw John Seed preparing those game baseballs when I got here.
Rubbing those up.
He was rubbing them in some mud. I said, "You got some Mississippi mud there?" There's a ground ball. Fair foul. I guess foul because he stopped running. Just to the left of the bag. But yeah, I said, "Do you have some good?" Is it Mississippi mud or Delmarva mud? I can't remember.
Yeah.
They have some official mud they rub it with.
And it's the only one that they use.
Well, he was using Paul Walsh Field mud. he said,
Yeah.
He said it's a pregame ritual for him, and he's done it for 32 years. So who am I to complain?
Nope, I'm sure part of the things he looks forward to.
There's another ground ball that's fouled down the third baseline. It's 0-2 on Elijah. The shortstop, as we said, looking to make amends for an error in the last inning that didn't end up hurting them too bad as they stranded, the Hilltopper stranded a runner on second. Ground ball, that's fair. Picked up by the third baseman, Reese. His throw, and what a stretch. Yes, he's got the bag. Ryan Lopes stretching to help out Reese on that one.
Now batting for the Whalers.
Scoring at
Number 22, the
5-3
pitcher,
with one away here now
Cortez.
for the Hilltoppers in the second.
Brings out the pitcher, Ben Cortez, who, when he's not pitching, is the usual first baseman for New Bedford. Of course, they have Kyle Pease playing there tonight. First pitch is outside for ball 1. We did see Martell lose the strike zone a bit in the last inning. He has a tendency to go high and outside. The 1-0, and that's outside, laid off it for ball 2.
And I don't know if you can see it. Yes, you can see it on that angle on your television screen. The shadows now have covered home plate. The pitcher's still in the sun, but since it's only April, the sun is not as bright. But usually when you get that twilight effect, it's very hard on a hitter. The pitcher's in the sunlight. Here, the sun still fairly shallow in the sky, so not really affecting Cortez that much at the plate.
Martell lost his balance on that one. Stands up, throws a strike. 3-1. Cortez, I guess, was taking all the way on that 3-0. The 3-1 is outside. He lost him. That's ball 4. That's the second walk of the night so far for Joshua Martell. Brings up Anthony Diacate,
number 1, the right field,
who pitched a pretty good,
Diacate.
if I remember, a pretty good 5 innings the last time we were here, Joe. Coach Seed wants to talk to home plate umpire Jeff Underhill.
This is interesting.
He's going to put a runner in for the pitcher.
Okay, he's going to go with the courtesy runner.
Now, I didn't really know that was a thing in baseball unless they're putting in a pinch runner and then they can re-enter Cortez.
But a re-enter is obviously just one time, so
right.
you'd have to pick your poison. It's kind of early in the game for that, but you could.
This is Amari Harrison. I only have half of the scorecard here. But that's the runner, number 7, Amari Harris, or Harrison. We'll go with Harris. Pitch to Diacate is outside for a ball. Anthony playing right field tonight. Harris leads away from first. He's running for Cortez. Doesn't go. There's a strike. 1-1.
Wearing number 1, and he's got the George Springer approach of just lightly, he's got the one finger off the bat, and he's just like flexing the bat up and down.
Harris on first, doesn't go. Ground ball back to the mound through the pitcher. They're going to get the out at second base, but not at first. So a fielder's choice for Diacate.
You're scoring that 4-6 on the fielder's choice as Cortez is cut down for out number 2, and that'll bring up Kyle Pease, the number 9 hitter and first baseman.
Pease seeing some action at first tonight because Cortez is on the mound. We're pausing here while Diacate fixes his shoe, I believe. Got to get the shoes right. Top of the order, Rainin Goodine is on deck if we get there. There are 2 outs. Martell's pitch. Catches the outside corner for a strike.
That time the breaking ball caught the corner. 2 away for New Bedford here in the second.
Martell delivers to the plate, and it gets past the catcher, so taking second base will be Diacate. Takes a long lead as it's run back by catcher Deacon Mello. I would say wild pitch.
Yeah, wild pitch. Ball went all the way to the backstop. The catcher, Mello, could have made the play, but it wasn't routine. So it's a wild pitch credited against the record of Joshua Martell.
It's 1-1 with 2 outs, runner on second. And the pitch is driven through the hole, shortstop hole. They're going to send the runner. Here comes Diacate, who will score easily. On his way down to second base, not drawing a throw, is the number 9 hitter, Kyle Pease.
Yeah, so Pease lacing one into left field, and you could see New Bedford there challenging the arm of the right fielder, Joshua Boria. Not a strong arm at all, Pete. You saw the ball in foul territory early, and it was several hops before it got to the catcher, Mello, and by the time it did easily to second base, it was Pease. So another New Bedford runner in scoring position with 2 away.
Rainin Goodine, who started the game, I think first pitch swinging with a base hit, takes ball 1. Kyle Pease leading off second base. He kind of made the Red Sox gesture of waving to the dugout when he got on second. There's a strike. 1-1. New Bedford leading 2-0 here in the second inning tonight. This matchup with the Durfee Hilltoppers. And the Whalers looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. Off to a good start. The pitch from Martell. Goodine's ahead of that one. Sends it Way foul down through the first base coach's box. And Martell will step to the rubber. 1-2 now. Goodine steps in. Check the runner at second. And here's the pitch. A shot foul.
Shadows creeping out closer to the mound now. You can see the pitcher still in the sun, but again, not a bright sun, so should not be a problem for Goodine. And it has not been a problem for the Whalers so far here in the second, as they've added to their lead and now lead it 2-0.
1-2. Josh Martell on the mound for Durfee. He throws, that's tight for ball 2. Martell has had some control issues early here in the game. If he misses, it's usually high and outside to a right-handed batter. So you can bet Goodine's on his toes here. Here's the pitch. And again, that's high and tight. Ball 3. He was out in front of him 1-2. Goodine has worked back to 3-2 now. With 2 outs, Anthony Diacate is on second base after an RBI single. Here's the 3-2. Goodine hits it to the shortstop. Smooth play, pick up and throw over to first. That's Espinal to Lopes, and the side is retired. But the Whalers pick up 1 run, and we go to the top of the third with the score New Bedford 2 and Durfee 0.
So Whalers out in front 2-0 here, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. And for those of you who are hockey fans, you saw something unprecedented happen last night.
What did I miss?
The Boston Bruins beat the Montreal Canadiens, and the Canadiens lost their 9th straight game. It's the most they've lost in a row, dating back to 1939.
Wow.
The last time they lost 9 in a row. So you're talking over 70 years, in fact 80 years now, since that last happened.
Wow.
So it's been a long time since the glorious franchise of Montreal has lost 9 in a row. And it happened last night when the Bruins beat the Canadiens and scored one of the weirdest penalty shot goals you'll ever see by Eric Haula. I don't know if you've caught it.
No, I did not see
on the highlights. Well,
now you've got me wondering.
Yeah, so now take a look at it. So
Okay.
penalty shot was called, and so Haula goes, as you do traditionally, you skate to the puck, usually with some speed.
Right.
And he missed the puck entirely. So he went past the puck. Now the rule allows you
Leading off the top of the third
to
inning,
come back if you don't touch the puck at all. So that's what
Okay.
he did. He
All
circled back, got the puck, and ended up scoring on the penalty shot. But if he would have touched the puck at all, his opportunity would have been negated. So you got to take a look at it. Skated, of course, trying to look ahead
Missed
at the
the whole
same time.
thing.
Missed the puck entirely.
All right.
And a few years back, Brad Marchand actually just lightly touched the puck on a penalty shot, and because of it, lost the opportunity because could not go back to get it.
The leadoff hitter for Durfee is the number 9 batter, Jacob Cavasso, who's playing second tonight, 1-1. Fouled that one. Don't know if it caught part of his foot, but seems to be fine. It's 1-2. Here in the third inning, the Hilltoppers will send Cavasso. Then the top of the order, Deacon Mello and Jaden Espinal to the plate. This is Cortez. Looping breaking ball. Didn't go where he wanted.
Didn't break. Stayed looping.
2-2. Cortez delivers, and a pop fly, or actually fly ball to left field, left center. And Raining Goodine is underneath there for the first out. Don't you hate it when you know what you want to say, but the word doesn't get to your mouth?
All the time.
Deacon Mello.
Deacon Mello is up. First inning, he hit a fly ball to Goodine in center. Still no hits given up by Cortez. Was that the announcer jinx? Did I just give him the announcer jinx? He has given up one walk.
It's a little early. It doesn't count yet, Pete.
Okay.
It's only the third inning. So once you get to about the fifth, then
I got to watch it.
Yeah, then you got to be careful.
So Cortez gave up a walk in the first. There was an error on the shortstop in the second. His throw to Deacon Mello is high for ball 2. Yeah, we keep mentioning the shadows, and I don't know about the hitters at this level if it bothers them much, but I know on defense you have it in your eyes. If you're in shortstop or the left fielder right now has got his shades down, there's a fly ball to Graham, and out number 2.
Yeah, just coming in, has the shades on, as you mentioned. And a lot of our viewers probably don't remember the days of having the flip downs.
Yes. Yep.
So that's the way it was in the game of baseball for many years.
This is Jaden Espinal, first pitch swinging out to left field. Jay Graham is underneath it, doesn't have to move much, and that's the third out. So a fly ball to center field and then 2 to left field, and we're headed for the bottom of the third with the New Bedford Whalers leading by a score of 2-0. You remember when you went to the sporting goods store and you found flip downs?
Oh, man, that was what the excitement.
Can I get these, Mom?
The excitement, yeah.
Then it was all up to Mom if it was a buying trip or a looking trip.
You know, our parents obviously told us the stories of when they were kids and what they didn't have, and they had to walk through 10 miles of snow to get to school. And
uphill
all
both
of that.
ways.
And then, of course, we were like, oh, come on. But we have a greater appreciation for that now, because the things that we remember as like so special, the kids today would be like, yeah, what's the big deal? I remember trying to find a batting helmet, you know, just wanting to have a batting helmet. You couldn't find one, you know, at a regular department store generally.
How about Charlie's Sports Store downtown?
Yeah, Charlie's was huge.
Yeah.
And even thinking about you know purchasing gear of any type today, you can get whatever you want.
Right.
Most likely the next day.
Delivered to your home.
Yeah, delivered to your house the next day. Exactly what you want. When once upon a time you settled for whatever you could get half the time. And sometimes you couldn't even find what you wanted. You would travel from store to store and no one had it.
My mother used to tell me she grew up during the Depression, and she used to play with a potato. You know, I mean, they played with what they had, whether it was a potato or.
That was the original Mrs. Potato Head.
I think she had a doll once that was a butternut squash. You know, it was about the right size.
That's about all you had.
Second baseman Ben Fredette will lead off. He got on base with an error on the first baseman. Ryan Lopes let a routine ground ball get by him. And Fredette looks at the first pitch, which misses for a ball.
When Martell has had his troubles finding the strike zone, has really tried to stay away from the hitters. He's missed wide quite a bit.
That one's in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. So Durfee, they're 4-2. Their wins have come against Somerset Berkeley, 2 over Greater New Bedford Voc Tech, and 1 with Weymouth. They lost to Apponequet and Taunton. And Taunton beat New Bedford.
Yeah, of course we saw Taunton. They had a tough squad, so that makes sense. That would have been difficult on Durfee.
2-1 on Fredette with C.J. Dunstan on deck. John Seed telling me that CJ's had a good year at the plate so far. You wouldn't know it by the 1-5 record. That misses for ball 3. And again, I'm not always sure if Martell's upset with himself or the calls that he's getting.
Yeah, I think that one he was upset with the home plate umpire, but looked wide from here.
3-1 is outside, and the Whalers have a runner on.
Yeah, again, height of the pitch. Fine, but it's wide of the plate.
Now for the Whalers, number 3, the catcher, C.J. Dunstan.
C.J. Dunstan, who hit into a double play in the first inning. I'll check the runner at first, and Fredette is back. Dunston, the catcher for the Whalers, I believe a 5-year catcher, because he came up in the 8th grade.
Runner back safely. Not a big lead there from Bedford.
Martell wants to keep him close, but he's really not getting that far off.
Is not. That's where you have divided attention.
Martell to Dunston. He thought about going for that one, held off, and it's a ball. See him talking to the umpire there, confirming he made the right decision, I believe. Did you see Kyle Schwarber go off last night on an umpire?
Yeah, Angel Hernandez.
There's a pop-up to right field or deep second base. Right fielder coming in, and the catch is made by Montilla. So 1 out for the Whalers.
Played it in very shallow right field. The second baseman, Cavasso, could have gone back for it, but the rule of thumb is the outfielder coming in gets the right of way. He makes the call, and Montilla did and made the grab.
Correction here, I mentioned CJ hit into a double play last time. He actually walked last time, but he was caught at second on the double play. It was Matt DeRosa that hit into the double play. He swings, takes a cut on the first one, and it's strike 1.
Took a big hack there.
A little chilly, folks all bundled up behind the home plate. We started with 53 degrees and a breeze this evening. Oh, he wanted that one. DeRosa misses for strike 2.
It's made its way now down to 51, so we've lost 2 degrees in 2.5 innings.
And by the way, we are playing 7. I asked John Seed about that because if you remember when there was the big 3, if New Bedford played Durfee, it was 9 innings.
9 innings.
Or if they played Brockton, right?
Right, exactly.
It was a 9-inning game, and I asked him, I said, are we going 7 tonight? Or he said, oh yeah, we don't do that anymore. He said, even in the tournament play, there's no 9 innings anymore for high school. The 0-2, he misses outside. That's 2 balls. I believe the scoreboard has it wrong because I remember him swinging twice.
2 balls and a strike on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but I remember him swinging twice, didn't he? I believe so. The pitch to DeRosa is outside.
Oh, no, they'll say it's a call strike 3.
Oh, that was a strike. Okay.
Call strike 3, so
that
you
was
were right.
That was a weird sign.
Yeah, he pointed to say, yes, it was there. Some umpires do that. And then he gave the signal for the strikeout.
Strikeout number 2 on the night for Martell brings up Jordan Graham. And remember, we have Fredette on first. Pitch outside for ball 1. Whalers lead 2-0 here in the 3rd. They scored once in the first, once in the second. Trying to keep that trait alive here. 1-0 to Graham. He swings and he hits that through the hole. So the runner will hold up at second base. I didn't see him accelerate. I thought maybe he'd try for third, but a base hit for Graham.
Inside out swing there, staying behind the baseball. Jordan Graham lines one into right field for the base hit.
Now batting for the Whalers.
Brings up Elijah Carpenter.
Elijah Carpenter.
In the second inning, he grounded to third to lead off that inning. Graham away from first, Fredette away from second. See Fredette just on your screen there. Ground ball to shortstop. And flip to second for the third out. Espinal to Cavosa. And the Whalers leave 2 on base. So after 3 innings, the score is New Bedford 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. And the Hilltoppers no runs, no hits yet, and 1 error. And now to bring you the rest of the play-by-play, here's Joe Cabral.
Thanks, Pete. Whalers leading at 2-0 after 3 innings. And for New Bedford, for Durfee, I should say, in the 4th, it'll be their number 3 hitter, the pitcher Joshua Martell, leading it off, followed by the center fielder, the left fielder Joshua Boria, and then the third baseman Sebastian Reese. New Bedford again leading it 2-0 and heading here into the 4th. Still holding Durfee hitless is New Bedford's right-hander Ben Cortez.
Big right-hander has quite the kick, quite the high kick here.
Again, working exclusively from the stretch.
Which we are seeing more and more on the high school level.
Yes, unfortunately.
And I think I've seen it also from a few in the pros. Most of the guys coming out of the bullpen.
Oh, out of the bullpen, yes.
Or some of the guys out of the bullpen.
Out of the bullpen. There's a lot of pitchers who they're going to work from the stretch only. Especially where they're coming in for one inning now at a time, generally. It's like, oh,
Right.
This is what I do to be consistent.
And then you've got someone like Garrett Whitlock with the Red Sox, who they're using. He can start. He can be long relief. It's crazy.
Come in later in the game. Can do whatever you really want him to do.
Red Sox are in Toronto for, I believe, 3 this week, and they don't have some players because of getting the vaccine.
And they don't have their manager.
Is he still out with COVID?
I believe so.
Yeah. I know he missed the Tampa series. But yeah, Tanner Houck and at least 2 other players are not on the trip to Canada.
Ball lifted to center field. Goodine over to his right, makes the grab for out number 1, retiring Joshua Martell. One away here for the Hilltoppers in the top of the 4th, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Joshua Berea. Berea's 0 for 1 on the night. Rounded out back in the 1st.
See the first base coach in here. He's just wearing sleeves. He's got like a short sleeve windbreaker on.
Bouncing ball to shortstop. Carpenter's there across the diamond. High throw, runner is safe. Left-handed swinger getting down the line quickly that time was Berea. Carpenter rushed his throw a bit, and it caused the first baseman Pease to come off the bag. He could not come down with it, but it looked like Berea would have been safe regardless. It'll be an E6. And that'll bring up Sebastian Reese, the third baseman.
Carpenter made the pickup nice and smooth, but then the throw sailed on him.
Maybe took a little bit too much time, a little nonchalant, and then because of it, had to rush the throw at the end. And a runner on first for the Hilltoppers with no one out.
Lights are on here at Wall Stadium right now.
With one away, check that. Fly ball center field. Goodine will move over this time slightly to his left, pats the glove against his leg and makes the grab for the out. Second out of the inning handled by Goodine in center field. And it's 2 away now for Durfee here in the 4th.
Berea did the right thing there. You see the runner, he went halfway, waiting to see what happened. So he had plenty of chance to make it to second if it was bobbled.
Here's Ben Sherry, the center fielder for Durfee, stepping in. Cortez from the stretch, the pitch, swing and a miss. No balls and a strike.
We're not seeing lightning speed from Cortez, but he gets it done.
No, we are not.
Runner back. I remember before the first game we did here at New Bedford High School, Coach John Seed saying they're pretty much pitching by committee, trying to figure things out.
There's a ball lofted on the skin of the infield. Shortstop Carpenter behind the third baseman DeRosa makes the grab for the out that retires the side. So a nice inning of work there from Ben Cortez as he retires Durfee in the inning for the Hilltoppers. No runs on no hits. There was a New Bedford error and a runner left on base. And after 3.5 innings of play, New Bedford continues to lead it 2-0.
So what do the analytics say for Ben Cortez? Does he come out for the 5th? I would think so.
High school baseball, he should be coming out if it's the 12th inning.
Yeah. Looking ahead for the Whalers, their upcoming schedule on Wednesday, April 27th, they'll be at Campanella Field in Brockton.
Yes.
I've never been there, but I've heard it's a really nice stadium.
Very nice, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son Kyle had a tryout there when he was in college. Yep, very nice field.
Saturday, April 30th, they will travel to Oliver Ames, which is up around Easton, Brockton. That's an 11 o'clock start for a Saturday morning. And then May 2nd, they're back here at Walsh Field hosting Bridgewater Raynham, which is always a tough team.
Yes,
and then they have a rematch at Dartmouth. The Dartmouth Indians beat the Whalers here at Walsh Field in a come-from-behind win. So they have a rematch at Dartmouth on May 4th.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth inning for the New Bedford Whalers, number 22, the pitcher, Ben Cortez.
Here's Ben Cortez, the number 7 hitter, stepping in for the Whalers. Cortez walked back in the second and was cut down on a fielder's choice off the bat of Anthony Diacite. Here's the pitch from Martel to Cortez. He'll take it in the dirt for a ball.
All the way to the backstop, and Diacite picks it up. I remember high school, right? The on-deck banner, it's your job. Chase all those down.
There's a ball laced into left field, and the left fielder, Berea, was playing shallow over to his right a few steps, makes the grab. Ball was smoked off the bat of Cortez, but again, playing very shallow, Berea made the play easily. Here's Diacite stepping in. Anthony, 0 for 1 on the night. Bounced into a fielder's choice. Grounds one down the first base line. Should be an easy play. And it is for the first baseman, Lopes, who caught it and stepped to the bag for out number 2.
We're seeing a lot of first pitch swinging by the Whalers tonight.
Well,
which as a fan I like.
Yeah, I mean, high school baseball, especially if the pitcher's throwing strikes, he struggled to throw strikes, so I'm not sure.
Right.
And John Seed is asking a question here.
I don't know what he's asking about.
He's asking him to go to the first base umpire and ask
for an appeal on what? I mean, it looked like a smooth play.
Yeah, it looked like Diacite
is he saying
should have been out.
Is he saying there was interference or? Not sure.
No, they'll say he is out.
Yeah.
So John Seed was questioning whether he was out or what happened there. Was it maybe a foul off his foot? I'm not sure what they were asking.
Okay.
But obviously, whatever he asked, the home plate umpire had no problem going down to talk to the first base umpire. I'm guessing he thought maybe he fouled it off his foot and it dribbled on the line, down the line, and the grab was made. See
we got some rascals.
Young fans out there turning the camera around.
Hey, we need that.
Those little rascals. He's bringing something out of the archives. You got to tell our audience how they can tune into your daily show, Pete.
Yes, we have a daily podcast on YouTube. It is a video show, but you can also find it on Spotify or any of your podcast apps. I do a show weekday mornings at 8 o'clock with my youngest son, Matt. And we do get some interesting things. He's 23. I'm not. I'm 60. So, we were talking about some movies yesterday, and there are plenty of movies he's never seen. That's out of play. Actually, I went to the Providence Bruins game this weekend, and it was Rhode Island Comic-Con weekend. So the Batmobile was there, the Back to the Future DeLorean, and the Ghostbusters car.
Oh, wow.
So this morning I was saying, what is that called, the Ectomobile or the...
you got me beat. I'm not a big movie guy.
Well, my son was saying, I don't know, I've never seen Ghostbusters. Go ahead, let me hear it.
And Kyle Pease takes a pitch for a call strike over the out that retires the side. So New Bedford goes down in the 4th. They'll strand a base runner. And after 4 complete innings of play, the Whalers still lead it 2-0. Yeah, so the Ghostbusters car.
So he's never seen the movie, and I guess you never have either.
No.
But there are a lot of movies, like he's never seen Jaws. I mean, he's 23, and
right.
Jaws came out in what, 75, 76?
Yeah.
So it's fun sometimes. He even brought up pagers today, and he said, like, I even know how to use a pager. And I thought, you don't? And no, he doesn't. He doesn't know how to use a pager.
What pagers didn't last a long time, if you think about it. It
That's
was
true.
A very short time span. It was a technology that was like, wow, this is kind of the greatest, but it was for a very short time before really things morphed into cell phones.
I did think of something today, though, to tell you.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of times we talk about the old days and the WNBH foul balls and all that. I actually went through a box of stuff out of my attic yesterday.
Okay.
Because my former partner, Joni Pfeiffer,
Yes.
is being inducted into the Rhode Island Broadcasters Hall of Fame this fall.
Oh, well, congratulations.
So one of the organizers, Ron St. Pierre, who has been in Providence Radio for a long time.
Forever.
Ron reached out to me and he said, do you have any old pictures of Joni? Because she doesn't. And I said, well, I'm sure I do. So I went up in the attic and I did find a few pictures.
Okay, we'll have to talk about those.
Back in the day.
As Ryan Lopes, that's a tease, as Ryan Lopes, the first baseman for the Hilltoppers, steps in. So, of course, Durfee now trying to get into the head of Ben Cortez as he's pitched a no-no through 4 complete. Pitches up high, 2 balls and no strikes to Ryan Lopes. Lopes flew out to left field back in the second. So you're bringing up our days at WNBH. Remember the remote truck we had?
Yes.
It was a truck, right?
Yep.
It had a car phone in it, like the old school car phones.
Yeah, the one that was mounted, right?
Mounted, and you had to pick it up and be in a certain distance and make a phone call, but you could call in remote reports. 3 balls and a strike here to Lopes, and he draws a 5-pitch walk. So Ryan Lopes on first base for the Hilltoppers as their dugout got rowdy there, and whether it affected the pitcher Cortez or not.
Brings out the New Bedford pitching coach, who's probably saying, shut them out.
Yeah.
You got to block that stuff out.
You got to ignore that. So we used to call in some reports, and on occasion I'd have the truck and went to a fire here or there, and you would call in a report from your car phone.
Car phone, yeah. Remember the bag phone? You used to plug it into the cigarette lighter.
Cigarette lighter, they had that as well. So those are technologies that are long since dead. I remember my mother brought home, she said, I bought a cell phone for you. I'm like, wow, okay, good. It was when they first were coming out. No, it was actually a car phone in a bag. And it's like, Mom, unless you have the service, that doesn't do anything.
Doesn't work.
It's a big paperweight. No balls and 2 strikes here to Alex Montilla, the right fielder.
We are happy that the sun has dipped and we can read the scoreboard nicely now. It lights up.
Cortez's pitch, and Montilla lifts one into center field. Goodine slightly over to his left. Makes the grab for out number 1. So Montilla flies out to center.
Goodine's been busy tonight. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4. He's had 5 putouts.
And all routine stuff for the center fielder. Jacob Cavasso steps in. So the things that went by quickly, for example, car phones like that, and then the pager, the days of the pager.
Oh. And I can remember, let's see, it was one of our children, was it the youngest? No, it wouldn't be the youngest. I guess my youngest daughter. My wife was due to have the baby at any time, but we had tickets to take my oldest daughter to see the Nutcracker. So I went to the Zeiterion with my pager, and my wife was going to page me the phone. Remember, you would type in your phone number to call back.
Yeah.
And she would type in the phone number and 911 if I was to get my booty back to the house.
Quick. Pitch misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes here to Cavasso, the second baseman. Runner on first for the Hilltoppers with 1 away. Foul down the first base line. Pease over behind the dugout.
Nope.
Could not make the grab. Earlier we saw New Bedford third baseman DeRosa dip behind the third base dugout. This time it was the first baseman, Kyle Pease, behind the first base dugout, but he could not come up with it. So it's 2 balls and a strike now to Jacob Cavasso. 0 for 1 on the night. Cavasso flew out to center back in the third. We're in the top of the fifth. Runner on first with one away. Just reaching out and fouling one back.
Hilltoppers still looking for their first hit, as they have had runners on, but it was either through errors or 2 walks given up by Cortez.
Here's the pitch. Ball lofted to shallow left field. Here comes Graham. He'll make the grab right along the line for the second out of the inning. So Cavasso flies out to shallow left and is 2 away here now for the Hilltoppers in the fifth.
Deacon Mello coming up. This will be his 3rd time seeing Cortez, which is a no-no in the majors, but so far he's flied out to left and flied out to center.
Fortunately, it's still a yes in high school baseball. Here is Deacon Mello stepping in. Pitch from Cortez, a call strike.
If you're John Seed, you've got to be happy with what you're seeing. You've got a 5-game losing streak. Team has had a 2-0 lead. They've had the lead since the first inning.
Cortez works from the stretch. The pitch on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes quickly to Deacon Mello. On deck is the shortstop Jaden Espinal.
I am impressed watching Cortez. I like his style.
Here's the pitch. Did it go? And the field umpire, Chris Roberts, says no, did not. Checked his swing. The count is a ball and 2 strikes to Mello. Runner on first base is Ryan Lopes with 2 away. Here's Cortez. From the stretch, the pitch, another breaking ball in the dirt.
How many years have we seen Chris Roberts around fields, huh? I can remember recalling his name, umpiring games.
Been a while. Here's the pitch from Cortez. Ball chopped toward third. DeRosa there. Strong throw in time for the out that retires the side. The Hilltoppers go down in the 5th for Durfee. In the 5th, no runs on no hits. There were no New Bedford errors, and a runner was left on base. After 4.5 innings of play, it's New Bedford still leading Durfee 2-0.
The reason I'm able to join Joe for tonight's broadcast, I understand Chris Santos got stuck in Florida.
Wow. At least if you're going to get stuck somewhere, it's kind of like a decent place to be stuck right now.
It's happening to more and more people I'm seeing.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a staffing issue with some of the airlines, but
it is,
flights are getting canceled.
Yep, it certainly is.
That's twice the backup catcher has missed the pitcher on the throwback.
So he's going to get a couple of demerits.
That's got to be frustrating to Martell.
It's like, okay, you're just coming out here to throw the ball back to me. Catch it and throw it back to me. And I've never seen the backup catcher in, like, sweats. He's like fully in sweats, it looks like. Well, actually, he's got the gray pants on.
He's cold.
And then he's got the sweatshirt on up top with the catcher's gear on top of that. But back on the mound is Martell with his catcher, Deacon Mello, as we go to the bottom of the 5th. New Bedford leading it 2-0. And for the Whalers, it'll be the top of the order, Raymond Goodine, followed by the second baseman, Ben Fredette, and then the catcher, C.J. Dunston.
Sunset's about 30 minutes away, but the lights have been on for the past, I believe, full inning or 2 inning and a half.
Number 8, the center fielder.
And the temperature now down to 50, so I'm on track for my prediction of it dropping into the 40s. We have an inning and a half at the very least remaining here to see if we can get into the 40s. Here's Goodine. 1 for 2 on the night. Singled back in the first. Makes a pitch on the inside corner for a strike.
He's had a busy night in the field. What did I say? 5, 6 different putouts, but everything right to him. He's waiting for that diving catch highlight.
Here's the pitch from Martell. Ooh, nearly got Goodine, who had to step away from one. A ball on the strike to Raymond Goodine.
Raymond has been the leadoff hitter just about the whole season for Coach John Seed.
Ball chopped at the plate.
I think he got part of his foot on that one.
Ball and 2 strikes now to Goodine.
It's not a sensitive area of your body, that has no, unless you put a guard over it, there's no padding there, nothing for your ankle.
So here goes, it's not really a trivia question. It's just
Okay.
I'm challenging your ability to tie one and one together and not your shoelaces
Okay.
and perception. So whatever caused pagers to become extinct also caused another device or another bit of technology, and a ball laced down the left field line by Goodine, and there was the left fielder Joshua Berea to make a catch in fair territory for out number one. But another piece of technology, aside from pagers becoming extinct because of this other piece of technology, the cell phone, another piece of technology became extinct virtually at the same time.
Ooh, I might need some time to think about that.
Okay, so I'm going to give you another clue. It's probably a convoluted way of explaining it, so that's why you're confused. But when you got a call on a pager, what'd you have to do?
You had to find a phone and make the call.
And what kind of phone did you generally
find?
Oh,
the payphone.
The payphone,
yes.
Right. The old, reliable payphone.
Have you noticed, I think I've done it, if you're out and you come across a payphone, you take a picture and send it to all your friends. Look what I found.
I found this, a payphone.
Yeah, the payphone.
There's a ball foul down the first base line in foul territory. It was snagged by Ryan Lopes.
My son, one of my sons, used to, my oldest son, he used to go into every payphone to look for it. He found some change. He found some spare change. People that never collected their change.
The money would come sliding down.
Strike three.
So Fredette goes down swinging for out number two, and that'll bring up the catcher, C.J. Dunston.
Fourth strikeout on the night for Martell. And I'm going to have to go to the jacket, Joe.
Yeah, it's a little chilly here. I decided to keep mine on from the time I got here. You braved it for a bit.
Glad I brought it.
Missing outside. I've learned that lesson a long time ago. Unless it's 85, 90 degrees, you know that if it's in the 60s, by the time that game moves a little bit, you'll be probably a bit chilly. Fastball way up high. Dunston taking it for a ball. Quickly, 2 balls and no strikes to CJ.
You see Martell's also working the sleeves there.
Yep.
Most of these guys are, it seems, short sleeves. They're foolish thinking it's spring. I say that jokingly, of course, but those of us that have a few years know it doesn't warm up around here until May.
No. 2 balls and a strike to Dunston. Matt DeRosa on deck. Here's Martell's pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs.
We did mention you on the podcast this morning, Joe.
Oh, well, that's intriguing. I hope it was I hope it was in a good way. Here's a ball lofted into foul territory. The pitcher, Martell, in foul territory, makes the grab for the out that retires the side. So Whalers go down in order in the 5th. And after 5 complete, New Bedford leads at 2-0.
I was talking about how I think it was on this day in 1903.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You couldn't have been referencing me in 1903. I'm not quite that old.
1993.
Okay, 93. Okay, on this date, yeah.
A quarterback from Washington State was drafted by the Patriots.
Yes.
Drew Bledsoe, of course.
Drew Bledsoe.
So then my son was saying, oh, so you're going to watch the whole NFL draft now? And I said, no, but I know somebody that will. I said, I mentioned how you and I were talking during our last broadcast.
Well, you should have me on the podcast to go over the draft as a special guest.
Let's do it. Let's book that.
You only have 2 days. Or we can do it after the draft because the draft's on Thursday.
No, I was telling
First round's on Thursday.
The last time you and I worked, we were discussing about how our listening habits to radio have changed in the morning, and you said how you find all these podcasts about the draft. And I just – now, are you big into college football?
I like college football, yes.
Okay, because my son and I, we are not into college football, and we thought maybe that's why we're not into the draft too much because we don't know these guys.
You like pro football better.
Yep.
I like pro football better too, but my whole thing was growing up, I mean, every sport. I loved every sport. So I watched everything. So it's, at this point, kind of ingrained in me. That's why I get so disappointed with baseball. It was really my first love, because until I really got my family, meaning my grandfather, and my father really never became interested, but my grandfather did very much in hockey. So I was a young boy, obviously, when the Bruins became so popular, the big bad Bruins. And what I did is I brought everyone along. I dragged them along. They were all baseball fans, but I dragged everyone else along to become hockey fans and basketball fans. So always have liked all the sports and loved college football. I would sit there on New Year's Day in the old, when there was the 3 games in a row all on NBC, and watch every game. So it'd start at whatever time it was, 12:30, and then watch it till 12:30 at night. So here's Cortez working into the 6th now for New Bedford, and a call strike on the first offering of the inning by Cortez to Jaden Espinal, the shortstop. Hilltoppers still looking for their first hit. There's a ball lofted into right field, but plenty of room there for Diakite, and Anthony makes the grab for out number 1. So Espinal flies out to right to lead off the 6th, and 1 away.
Josh Martell.
And we'll see the pitcher, Josh Martell, come up. 0 for 1 with a walk.
He got as far as second base, stole second. Here's the pitch from Cortez, misses wide. But yeah, they became fans of other sports because I really liked those other sports, and I was always so starved for sports. Again, a totally different world than what we are experiencing today. I remember my grandfather, my grandparents used to get TV Guide, the hard copy of TV Guide. And they would usually get it. Here's a pitch by Cortez. Ball fouled back into the netting.
If I remember, we got that on Friday.
Yes.
And by Saturday, I had finished the crossword.
Oh, yeah. I was not interested in that. First thing I did is I looked through the entire week to see what sporting events were on. And, of course, those were the days when the channels went up to, remember, the channels only went up to what, 13, right? And, of course, a lot of them, there were nothing there. 13 was nothing.
Then you had your UHF channels where you needed a special antenna.
Yeah, special antenna.
And as the younger brother, I would have to hold it, and my brother would say, "That's it, don't move."
Don't move. Get the aluminum foil out. Here's the pitch by Cortez. And it misses wide. So base on balls as Martell draws a walk, and all of the nonsense. Yeah, you would do that. You had that little round circular antenna that you would spin and turn and twist and try to find the signal, and then, as you said, the youngest person would get stuck over there holding a piece of tin foil up in the air or doing something to try to get the game on. Go to first, not in time. Back safely, Martell.
By the way, 2 walks on the night for Cortez so far.
1 away here. Definitely the lights taking hold now at Paul Walsh Field. There goes the runner. Here's the throw. Second stolen base of the night for Joshua Martell.
3 on the night for the Hilltoppers. They have their timing down, and I guess not showing much respect here for CJ behind the plate.
Yeah, and a slow delivery to the plate by Cortez. Has that high leg kick.
I had a player like that once in the senior league in Fairhaven, and I just told him, I said, we've got to speed you up. I could steal off you, and I was in my 50s at the time. I said, your delivery to the plate was just, he was so focused on his pitching that he didn't realize they're going to run on you all night.
Yep. And you can see it here. Let's watch the next delivery from Cortez. It's not only that he picks his leg up fairly high, doesn't have a slide step, but he also kicks his foot out. So it's kind of like a double motion.
Right.
Not like he just comes up and keeps that knee there with the foot down. He kicks the foot out. And so gives the runner plenty of time to get a jump. Let's watch it here. There we go. That time he did try to use a slide step. So obviously the pitching coach came out and said you got to use a slide step. But the problem is if you never do it, maybe you don't have the control to do it.
Only a 2-run lead here for the Whalers.
Here's the pitch by Cortez, call strike. 3 balls and a strike here to Joshua Berea. Berea is 0 for 2 on the night. Hilltoppers have a runner on second, down by 2. Here's the pitch. Pitch stayed up high. Ball 4, and Berea draws a walk. So second base on balls of the inning handed out by Cortez, and New Bedford will have another visit out to the mound.
Now, is this like the majors? Yeah, he will make a change.
And that's it. So I guess no-hitters don't matter in high school either anymore. So
Well, not when it's only a 2-run lead and you have a 5-game losing streak.
yeah, apparently not.
So we'll see what kind of change we're going to make here.
And Cortez, I don't know if he's going to stay out there and just change up a glove or something. Looks like he's got his glove off and going to the bench. Might be done.
Coming into pitch is Ben Fredette, coming in from second base.
Now pitching.
So John Seeds going over things with the home plate umpire.
So Ben Fredette on the mound. Whalers have made a change at second base, trying to see who that is.
Number 11, is it? Or
We have to go to our program.
that would be, if it's 11, that would be Isaiah Silva.
So Isaiah Silva, the new second baseman.
And Ben Fredette is on the mound in place of Ben Cortez.
So Hilltoppers have runners on first and second, still looking for their first hit of the night, but only one away here in the 6th.
So I'm assuming that Isaiah Silva will go into the batting order in place of Ben Cortez.
Yes. So Fernandez has his warm-up pitches complete. And stepping in for the Hilltoppers will be their third baseman, number 18, Sebastian Reese.
You see umpire Chris Roberts there explaining what's what. Runners on first and second with 1 out.
Only one away here. Burnett from the stretch. And here's his first pitch. Ball's in the dirt. Runners are off on the play, and they'll both be safe. So it looked like Martell was going to steal, but once the ball was in the dirt, it was a no-brainer, and Martell continued to third base, and then on to second. It was Berea. So now the Hilltoppers have runners on second and third. And it's 2 balls and no strikes here to Reese.
1 out.
Here's the pitch.
It's in foul territory down the right
the
field.
first base line and twirls out of play. So looks like it might stay on the field of play, Pete, but then twisted beyond the bullpen down that right field line.
Martell is on third, and Boria is on second.
Unless the ball's right back to the pitcher or at the corners, ball in the dirt, run will score. So Frenette has already had a couple of pitches in the dirt here since coming in. That has allowed Durfee to tie the game without a hit. So still looking for their first hit. They're down 2-1, I should say. Haven't tied it yet. Have a runner on third with still only 1 out.
Those walks will kill you.
Frenette's pitch misses outside, and he's, see here, 3 balls and a strike. So Reese, and the pitch from Frenette. Ball again fouled off down the right field line. That one definitely out of play.
If we get a shot at Boria on third again, he's got that oven mitt on his hand. You know how a lot of runners are using that now to guard their hand when they slide.
Avoid jamming a finger. There's a ball lifted into deep right field,
Should get the run
over
home.
toward the line in foul territory. Diakite made the grab.
I think he dropped it.
Oh, he dropped
He
it.
dropped it.
They'll say he dropped it, but it was definitely a foul ball.
That's what the home plate umpire is signaling, that it was a foul ball.
Yes, Yes, and he is signaling foul ball. So, of course, that's his call with the umpire, the field umpire.
It's umpire
at second base.
Jeff Underhill makes the call that was a foul ball.
So Diakite dropped it.
He ranged over to the right, and it looked like it hit his glove.
Yeah, he was there. He should have made the grab.
But he dropped it. In foul territory, thank goodness. 3-2.
Frenette's pitch to Reese, upcoming. Here's the pitch.
Got him.
Swing and a miss. Down on strike, Sebastian Reese. And now 2 away for the Hilltoppers in the 6th. So dropping the foul fly actually helps New Bedford there. The runner would have scored and tied the game. Here's Ben Sherry, the center fielder, stepping in. Pitch from Frenette, and Sherry chases one up high.
So if I'm Diakite, when I come in, I'm going to say, plant it. I knew that.
That was a strategy on my part.
I knew it was the better play to let it drop.
Obviously, we've seen that in games, late in games when, you know, it could be the winning run or even maybe a tying run. You make a decision there, split-second decision. Should I let it go? Here's a pitch, ball hit again into foul territory, first base line, beyond the bullpen. A ball and 2 strikes to Ben Sherry. It's the top of the 6th with New Bedford now leading it by a slim 2-1 score.
How big would a K be here?
Is Frenette's pitch, breaking ball, stayed up high. Count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you see the runner on third base trying to distract the pitcher, Frenette. Berea really just coming down the line. Here's the pitch, ball laced to right field, back the right fielder. Diakite is there. This time he makes the grab for the out in fair territory that retires the side. So Sherry flies out to right for the 3rd out. Durfee does come up with a run in the 6th, and again, they did so without a hit. There were no New Bedford errors, and a runner was left on. There was a New Bedford error, and the runner left on base. And after 5.5 now, it's New Bedford 2 and Durfee 1.
That was a busy inning for
Diakite
in right. He had the first out of the inning. Then he dropped that ball in foul territory, which meant the runners had to go back, so a run did not score. And then he made the 3rd out. So much for, they put me in right field, coach.
Yeah, it's a little different than Little League Baseball.
Yeah, it is.
So Joshua Martell back out there into the 6th inning of work. 2-1, New Bedford leads it.
He had some early control issues. Martell was missing high and outside to right-handers, but he's only given up 2 runs. And, just 3 hits, I think, for New Bedford. So he will pitch into the 6th. And we don't see any action going on in the bullpen. But, of course, New Bedford didn't either. They brought Fredette in from second.
Number 15, the 3rd baseman, Matt DeRosa.
So for New Bedford in the 6th, the cleanup hitter, Matt DeRosa, will step in. 0 for 2 on the night, grounded into a double play in the 1st, and then was caught looking in the 3rd.
Whalers would like to get some insurance runs here in the 6th and close it out in the 7th.
And even though the lights are on, Pete, it's very dark here.
It does seem that way.
Very, very dark. Ground ball to short. Handled there by the shortstop Espinal over to first in time for the out. And you were about to say you're glad that I mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not just me.
You thought maybe, these glasses are a little too tinted. But it's very dark.
Number 6, the left fielder, Jordan
All the lights
Brand.
look like they're on. Maybe
there's a couple out.
A couple
on the
lamps
poles.
here and there, but it is very dark.
Not what we're used to seeing in a night game.
Not in a night game at all. There's a ball that stays up high. Pitch that misses to Jordan Graham. Graham 1 for 2 on the night. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. The ball and a strike to Graham. On deck for New Bedford, the shortstop Elijah Carpenter. Here's the pitch. Misses outside.
New Bedford having a night similar to what the Red Sox have had this season, scoring early and then the bats just going silent for the rest of the game.
And the pitch misses high and inside. So 3 balls and a strike now to Jordan Graham. New Bedford leading at 2-1. Pitch. Martell's pitch is in the dirt, and Graham draws a walk.
Runner on.
So New Bedford has a base runner here in the 6th, looking for insurance, as Pete said. Elijah Carpenter will step in.
Isaiah Silva will be on deck. He went in place of Cortez in the order. Oh,
Throw to first. Not in time. Back safely is Graham. And the pitch. And more control problems here for Josh Martell. Pitch stays up high. The ball and no strikes.
He's had this happen to him a couple of times early in the game, first and second.
Oh, they had the runner picked. Oh, just fell asleep on the bag.
He took too
Jordan
much of a lead.
Graham. Yes, remember the pitcher, if he's not on the rubber, Graham was off the bag, and the pitcher, Martell, was not on the rubber, so he didn't have to do much other than just make a throw. If you're not on the rubber, just make your throw to first.
Yep. Oh,
And so the runner is picked off.
What a momentum killer.
And the ball laced to left field. Over the head of the left fielder, Berea, to second. It's Carpenter with a 2-base hit.
And what could have been a run.
So costly on the pickoff.
It could have been the 3rd run for the Whalers, but Graham was picked off.
19, the second baseman,
And it's hard to tell if the left fielder, Berea, saw that. I mean, on the screen it looks fairly bright because of the cameras, but here it is dark.
So this is Costello, who's actually in at second base, number 19.
So it's Costello stepping in. Came in as the second baseman.
First name Joe.
Batting for the Whalers, number 19, John Walsh.
Well,
okay.
I guess we have a correction. It's 19, John Walsh.
I was going by the PA announcer who said Costello, so it's John Walsh.
John Walsh.
Sooner or later, I got to get this right.
2 balls and no strikes here to Walsh. New Bedford has a runner in scoring position with 2 away here in the 6th, leading it 2-1. And Walsh laces one, but it's on the edge of the infield dirt and easily handled there by the second baseman Cavasso for the out. That retires the side. So New Bedford does get a runner into scoring position in the 6th, but a costly pickoff at first base really squashes the potential insurance run, and New Bedford unable to do damage beyond that. And after 6 complete now, the Whalers holding on to that slim 2-1 lead.
So Durfee will bring up batters 7, 8, and 9 to try to at least tie this up in the 7th.
And still looking for their first hit of the night. They scored in the 6th without a hit. 2 bases on balls, stolen base thrown in there, and then a couple of wild pitches, Pete, produced the run for Durfee. So Ben Fournette, we're going to see if he can come up with the save here.
He struggled when he came into the game with runners on base, but then settled down to get the final 2 outs in the last inning, striking out Sebastian Reese and then getting a fly ball to right from Sherry. So let's see if he was able to regroup and put together a successful 7th inning. Ryan Lopes.
Leading off the top of the 7th inning for the Durfee
He walked and flied out to
number 21,
left.
the first baseman, Ryan Lopes.
Lopes is the first baseman, and stepping in here, the number 7 hitter. And again, Fournette looking for the save. New Bedford with a 2-1 lead. Whalers looking to snap a 5-game losing streak.
Coach Mike Martin, the head coach of Durfee, a former Durfee Hilltopper himself, going over to third.
Ball fouled back by Lopes. And if you're Fournette here, you have to make them swing the bat, because in that last inning, Durfee was looking for freebies. They came up with a couple, and then with wild pitches were able to score a run. Here's Fournette's pitch.
Could be trouble.
Ball hit into shallow right field. There on the diving attempt.
Diakite.
And what a grab by Diakite. Came sliding in. Anthony dropped one earlier in foul territory, but this time makes the grab.
Definite web gem there.
I don't know if we have that on replay, but nice work there by Diakite to slide in and make the grab.
He's had a busy night in right field. But you saw that ball. You saw the second baseman going back. It was too far for Goodine to run.
Fastball for a called strike. So Fournette's coming in here now in the 7th and saying, I'm going to just throw strikes. You guys are going to have to hit the baseball here. I'm not going to give you any free passes. Here's the pitch. That time an off-speed breaking ball that missed low and outside. A ball on the strike. Alex Montilla. 0 for 2 on the night. Montilla pops one on the infield.
Fournette.
Oh! He drops it in foul territory. What is going on?
Oh.
I mean, and that's a shallow pop. That ball really didn't have a lot on it. Fournette it's fortunate it was in foul territory. I mean, that's routine.
Coach John Seed telling me before the game that at least one of the games they had over vacation in Plymouth, just the mental mistakes. You saw C.J. Dunston go out, put his arm around his pitcher, try to get him to shake it off.
Well, Diakite dropped one in foul territory. It actually benefited the Whalers, but still was a miscue. Here, Fournette, with no one on, had out number 2 in about as easy a fashion as possible.
1 and 2, that's way outside.
I'll never forget coaching women's softball. We were playing against the perennial champions. As a ball check swing into right field.
First hit.
That's going to fall for a base hit. So the drop pop comes back to haunt Fournette, at least so far, as Montilla just reached out and dropped one into right field. First hit of the night for the Hilltoppers.
The past two half innings, the Whalers have seen mistakes come back to bite them.
Yes, base on balls and wild pitches in the 6th, and now here a dropped pop fly of the most routine variety, not even really very high at all. It isn't like one of those sky-high pops that you got to circle under.
Tying run on first. Leading run at the plate.
And Jacob Cavasso steps in. Fournette checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Misses.
Now, it'd be interesting to see if the Hilltoppers try running on Fournette like they did on Cortez.
Well, you would imagine they'd give it a shot if they feel they have a runner with enough speed. Swing and a miss there by Cavasso.
He seems to be quicker to the plate, though.
A little bit.
Yep.
And again, you got to remember who's on base. Montilla doesn't look like a speed merchant. Check the runner, back safely is Montilla. From the stretch, here's Fournette's pitch. Misses.
Staying away.
2 balls and a strike. To Jacob Cavasso, Deacon Mello, the top of the order, the catcher on deck.
How about a little 6-4-3 double play here to wrap it up?
You'd like to see that. Here's the pitch. Stays up high. 3 balls and a strike. And now you got to worry, if you're John Seed, about Ben Fournette, because, again, psyche's certainly a bit more fragile at the high school level.
And especially after dropping what was an out.
In the second out. Now you're in danger of putting a runner into scoring position. Here's Fournette's pitch. Call strike on the outside corner.
Might have been a little gift there.
Yeah, and biggest pitch of the night. 3 balls and 2 strikes, full count, 1 away. Runner, of course, no need to be off here. Here's the pitch. No, way up high. Draws a walk. So Cavasso, base on balls. And now the Hilltoppers have runners on first and second.
And here comes the coach.
Now batting for the Hilltoppers, number 5.
So you were saying about women's softball.
Yeah, so coaching women's softball, perennial champs, we're playing them. We're about to beat them. Last game in the series, I believe it was 2 out of 3 for the championship. So we're about to win. Pop fly to the shortstop. Perennial
routine
player, high school, tremendous high school softball player. The star of the Apponequet Lakers. So catch this, we win the championship, dropped a pop fly, not even as high as that one. Runner reached next, and then of course, it was the floodgates. The floodgates, wheels fell off, floodgates open, whatever you want to say, and that was it. They beat us, and they end up winning the championship. It was one of those, you can't really even believe it. The one player you would say hit the ball to this player. As the ball laced towards second base.
Yes!
He has it for 1 to first in time for the double play.
Nice.
A line out to Walsh, and Walsh had time, lots of time, to get it over to the first baseman, Pease, for the out to complete the twin killing. So New Bedford breaks up that 5-game losing streak with a 2-1 win here tonight over Durfee. Winning pitcher this evening for New Bedford will be their starter, Ben Cortez. And Ben Fournette will be credited with a save. Losing pitcher tonight for Durfee is Joshua Martell.
Well, the Whalers came into tonight with a 5-game losing streak, and they got to be happy. Number one, staying this close with the team, the Durfee Hilltoppers, 4-2. And, of course, there's always a rival between the two schools. If you're Coach John Seed, you got to be happy that things coming together, but still a couple of mental errors. They can clean that up. You can see the rest of the season being much better for them. Again, they'll play Wednesday at Brockton at Campanella Field. Saturday at Oliver Ames. They're back here at Walsh Field on May 2nd, hosting Bridgeport Arena.
And I'm sure we'll have 1 or 2 of those for you over the next couple of weeks. Our line score tonight for New Bedford, 2 runs on 4 hits and 3 errors. Durfee, 1 run on 1 hit and 1 error. Winning pitcher here tonight for New Bedford, Ben Cortez. Ben Fournette credited with a save. And the loser for Durfee is Josh Martell. For Pete Braley and all of our staff here at the New Bedford Cable Network, I'm Joe Cabral. Thanks for joining us tonight, and have a good night, everyone.